Forever.
All right, well, we may not be able to teleport just yet, but apparently we can holoport.
Holoport, okay.
Holoport.
Digital reporter Alexander Bahu is here to explain what this new technology is and what's involved in virtual travel.
Hello.
That's right, hello. Microsoft is working on what they're calling holoportation. So it's like teleportation, but you physically aren't going anywhere, just your virtual self. Holoportation uses a type of 3D capture technology to transmit a model of you to anywhere around the world.
Tonight we hear from inventor and futurist Ray Kurzweil about immortality and the exponential growth of technology.
We're going to get to a point 10, 15 years from now where we're adding more time than is going by to our remaining life expectancy. People sometimes say that death gives meaning to life because it makes time short, but actually death is a great robber of meaning, of relationships, of knowledge. We're going to be able to overcome disease and aging. Most of our thinking will be non-biological. That'll be backed up. So if part of it gets wiped away, you can recreate it, and we'll be able to extend our lives indefinitely. I'd rather use that word than for...
Would you swallow this pill so you didn't have to remember another password or wear an electronic tattoo identifying you to get better deals? It's not sci-fi. These are real, and it's just the beginning of a tech revolution.
All kinds of things that we don't even think about, where we shop in the store, what things we pick up, are starting to be recorded and analyzed.
Tom Keenan of the Canadian Global Affairs Institute says biometric ID is advancing faster than our ability to contain it, and he calls it creepy.
There's no way society can keep ahead of this.
We've seen retinal scans in airports. Now even some U.S. schools use them to speed up cafeteria lines. Cars use them instead of keys. Banks are lining up to implement the technology at ATMs. It makes it easier for us, but also easier for the people who watch us.
So somebody with enough data processing power, which is dirt cheap now, can go out there and follow everything that you do.
Police use facial recognition software to scan huge banks of images, and they're testing ways to identify us just by the way we walk. Keenan says that technology will come to the store down the street.
So next time you go into the Walmart, maybe it knows as you walk in there who you are, that you're pre-diabetic, etc., and suddenly you start being manipulated.
The company Nimi's wristbands use our heartbeat to identify us for finances, for passwords, for booking travel. Keenan worries we'll simply accept new technologies because it's easy without thinking hard about how others...
First Amendment right for their views to be heard.
Everything I've been telling my patients for the last 10 years has been based on a lie.
Vaxxed has been axed from New York's Tribeca Film Festival. This trailer posted online is all that audiences can see of the documentary Vaxxed, from cover-up to catastrophe.
Who is stopping that story? Is it a corporate interest? I don't know. Why does Tribeca suddenly not want to tell this story? Why does, I have nothing but respect for Robert De Niro and Tribeca. I can't imagine what type of pressure came down that would make them pull a movie that they were obviously behind in the beginning.
The director and producers say they were not given an opportunity to appeal Tribeca's decision. They say it's an example of, quote, the power of corporate interests, censoring free speech, art.
And in Fort Wayne is suing the city for what he says is a violation of homeless people's rights.
He says the city is taking and destroying their property during sweeps of homeless camps.
A spokesperson for the city of Fort Wayne says they've done 20 cleanups of homeless camps since 2011. Keith C. is calling those sweeps unconstitutional and discriminatory. He says their homeless camp sweeps are unconstitutional. They're taking their tents, coats, blankets, and other property. They're then destroying or throwing the stuff away with no chance to get it back. C. says his grandfather's jacket was taken in a sweep last year.
They're wrong. They're taking our personal property, saying it's junk. To them it may be, but to us it's our life.
Sally Segerson has been working the streets for about 4 years as founder of Street Reach for the Homeless. She says one man she knows lost an irreplaceable Bible in a sweep.
Facial recognition technology in the fight against terrorism. This week, ISIS claimed responsibility for a series of deadly bombings in Belgium that killed 34 people, including 3 suicide bombers. The attack spawned another manhunt and more questions about prevention only 4 months after the terrorist incidents in Paris. Facial recognition technology might help prevent such attacks, but it's a work in progress.
So there's been a real push to try and incorporate more and more of this what's called biometric data into a record so that it can be useful for law enforcement. That's what we're seeing here. We, as soon as these events happened, we had a very clear picture of who law enforcement thought was in charge, who they thought was responsible for this terrible event. You had, that scene, that picture that's now being blasted on televisions all around the world. But what's strange, when I talked to DHS about this, they pointed out that, hey, you might feel a little bit strange standing in line at a border crossing and surrendering your biometric data to the government. That's you don't have to be somebody with ill designs to feel weird about that, but we give away biometric